gas prices. It'd be nice to have a 35-hour work week, delicious food that's actually good for me, strong friendships, and free high-speed Wi-Fi wherever I go.
I think I'm entitled to wealth, love, cheap education, a fair legal process.
According to the survey, 63% of all Americans want their summers to be hot but not too hot. 85% want the government to stop all wars, end world hunger, and make quick and easy weight loss possible. 93% want to be emotionally satisfied, plus a soulmate, unconditional love from their parents, and a big happy dog.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Welcome to Free Talk Live. You are invited. If you want to join us here, you can. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. With you in the studio tonight, you've got Ian.
And the Reverend Captain Kickass.
Boy, do we have some, well, as usual, terrible news.
I mean, I predicted, what are we into, the third week? Going into of
at least
Corona madness, I predicted when I decided to first start talking about it on air that things would get, well, a lot more dumb and much. I mean, it's not hard to predict that when the government's involved. They like to, think that they say that they're doing something to help folks out, but really they just dump fire on a mess and make it worse. Seems to be the way things go. So, true to form, things have gotten much dumber.
Oh, I would say scary is a better word than dumb. Tyrannical is a better word than dumb, because that's what's happening here. I mean, this is a total police state that we are seeing appear around us. Now, in the past on Free Talk Live, as much as more than a decade ago, we had asked questions on the air of people like, well, what would make you believe that it is a police state if you don't think it is now? Because we thought it was, it had some hallmarks of that. Yeah, more than a decade aago. After 9/11, you had the Department of Homeland Security that was put into place, and
the Unpatriotic Act.
TSA, of course, brought in. The TSA was actually doing like what they had what they call the Viper team, VIPR.
Oh, yeah.
They would go to like bus stops and harass people and search them, and then of course the internal checkpoints came about as well. So there's all these like really creepy police state things that have been going on for a couple of decades at least. I mean, and that ignores what happened in the 1990s as well. I mean, Waco, of course, was just a horrifying thing that the federal government pulled on some peaceful people. So, we'd ask that question of, well, if you don't think it's a police state, because some people would say, well, that's not a police state. Okay, well, what are your criteria?
Right.
If this now is not a police state, then what would make you say, all right, it's a police state?
Right.
What are the things that you have to see happen? Apparently, internal checkpoints wasn't one of them, because we already have those inside like 100 miles of the southern and northern borders.
Yeah, and that's such a generous, border, right? 100 miles. Wow. I mean, it's dumb.
That's a lot.
It's dumb.
So, and people that live in those areas have to go through those checkpoints every day if they're going to work, if there's one on the way to work. And so maybe if you had to go through a checkpoint regularly, maybe that would make you think, this looks like a police state. Maybe if you had some uniformed man with a gun stopping you as you're trying to go to the grocery store and demanding from you your papers, demanding from you to know where you're going, from where you're coming, and asking you whatever other questions he feels like asking you. Would that make you think that you live in a police state?
I mean, I already think and feel that we do and have for, I mean, maybe even possibly as long as I've been alive. I haven't gone back that far into history to determine if the criteria that I think meet a police state have applied since I was born, but certainly in the last decade, for certain, I think all of the check boxes for me have been there. That yes, we are in a police state. But what were the the top three that you said that you would ask people?
I don't know. I don't know if they even had answers. I don't remember.
Really?
I don't know. I don't remember what
I'm
their answers are.
guessing
It's more of a question for people listening, right? Like, if you don't think it's a police state, what is it that would make you think it's a police state? And if you want to call in about that, you're welcome to. But there's, of course, a whole lot that's been done in just the last few weeks.
Yeah, well, for me, police state, like stop and frisk,
they did that. That was like a decade ago.
Unwarranted search and seizure, right?
They've been doing
TSA,
that,
right? So and then of course, the real, overt sort of visual one that I think most people would agree with. I would hope they would be checkpoints.
Checkpoints seems real obvious to me. Now, of course, you mentioned search and seizure. The war on drugs brought about a major advance in the police statiness around the United States, with countless tens of thousands of raids. I think the last numbers I saw were like 40 to 50,000 police raids every single year across the United States, the super majority of which are not for like some crazed lunatic killer hiding out in his home, but instead for drug dealers,
right? Which,
again, is a completely peaceful act that has nothing to do with any victims. It's a victimless crime.
Well, and the part behind all that, too, of course, is civil asset forfeiture.
Sure.
So within that, not only, do you have the police action and the raids and all that, but then, like, they're just liberating.
They take your stuff.
They're just taking your stuff with you don't have any recourse. They just take it and it's gone.
And we have seen, to be fair, we have seen some civil asset forfeiture reform in certain states around the United States in recent years. So there's been some progress on that matter.
Abolish it all, man.
But that doesn't mean that it's not a police state. The police state has gotten worse in just the last 3 weeks. Captain Kickass, you have a story about how it's expanding now in the state of Florida. We've heard calls from people to shut down state borders. Like, I've heard people in New Hampshire, which is where we are, calling to shut down the border of Massachusetts to stop people from coming in here from that particular state. I don't know if that's just because they don't like the mass holes, or they don't want those people coming and buying things from the grocery store.
No, I think it had to do with Massachusetts closing liquor stores.
No,
or something like that. No, I thought
that's an essential service.
Well, I thought that there was something about that.
They're closing the marijuana stores, apparently.
Oh, maybe that's okay. They're not closing them in Seattle, apparently.
That's good.
The marijuana stores apparently are essential services.
I don't disagree with that.
But
I think everybody's business is essential to their lifestyle. Essential to their ability to provide for their loved ones.
You should be able to self-medicate too, right? Marijuana obviously has some medicinal qualities. It's been used that way far longer than the legal system has been around, and so to prevent people from using it, I think, is dumb. But this particular article sort of hides it doesn't really hide, but it's an afterthought almost. So the headline reads, Governor DeSantis suspends vacation rentals in Florida, orders checkpoints on roads. And I read that, and that's what I said. I said, oh my gosh, checkpoints? Are you serious? This is, it's taking it a step too far. It's
well, that's really interesting, because I had a story from this week. It was published just 4 days ago at Politico.com about this DeSantis guy, the governor there, making it sound like he was against all shuttering the economy down or whatever. They say he's grown more defiant. On Monday, instead of buckling to political pressure to issue a shelter-in-place order, he said he would restrict visitors coming into the state from coronavirus hotspots, including New York, and then he's ignoring pleas from Florida Democrats to be more aggressive. So this is a hit piece against DeSantis that's all about how he's not doing enough. Now you're saying 4 days later he's ordering checkpoints.
Yeah, this is from WCJB.com. Tallahassee, Florida, from WTXL is where this was being reported from on this website. Governor Ron DeSantis is ordering that checkpoints be installed along Florida's roads to account for traveling drivers, and has also suspended all new vacation rentals in Florida for the next 14 days. DeSantis made the announcement during a press conference on Friday. For the next 14 days, new vacation rentals will not be permitted. Those already here can finish their trip, according to DeSantis, but are encouraged to go home as soon as possible. DeSantis also ordered that checkpoints be installed along the state's major roads that come into Florida, particularly the panhandle from the Gulf Coast, including I-10. These checkpoints do not apply to commercial drivers, apparently. So,
interesting.
I guess they're letting truckers through, or
that's unusual, because if you look at if you're a professional driver and that's what you do for a living, you drive a truck, you are subjected to all kinds of checkpoints that typical drivers are not. Way stations.
Yeah, they probably figure they have them covered, right? But
inspection stations,
licensing, way stations.
So now everyone is going to have to go through checkpoints if they want to come into Florida. That's what's happening here. 855-450-FREE. You want to tell us how you feel about this? 855-450-FREE. Does this make you feel safe?
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556, or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces, even within an IRA. 800-525-9556, ICAGoldSilver.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
If you're one of the many frustrated singles who suffer from online dating fatigue, you might just be in luck. A new dating website launched this week that caters to fed-up men and women who simply want to meet eligible singles with unbroken skin or open sores similar to their own. It's called Last Shot.
If you're one of those people who is just ready to throw your hands up in the air and start a life with someone who has unbroken lesion-free skin, or on the other hand, if you're open to someone who has boils and abscesses similar to your own, Last Shot is perfectly calibrated to your needs.
Boasting a user-friendly interface and affordable dues of $4.99 a month, Last Shot simply asks users to log in, then click yes or no if they have open sores. Within moments, they're connected with hundreds of eligible singles who have comparable skin conditions. Reviews have been overwhelmingly positive. Arcuri hopes to one day introduce an upgraded membership experience, which would allow exasperated singles to filter for specific skin conditions.
This is the Onion News Network.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Apparently, Florida, the state of Florida, governor there announcing that they're going to be putting checkpoints into play at the state borders, in the northern borders of Florida to, I guess... And we're going to get into more about the story here because we've just barely started it. Captain Kickass, you've got it from some news station down in Florida in Tallahassee.
WCJB.com is where
they're going to be stopping all non-commercial traffic, so truckers won't be stopped at these checkpoints. Of course, they've got their own checkpoints that they regularly are stopped at and harassed by government goons. But now government goons will be stopping everyone apparently coming into the state of Florida, which it's interesting because... I heard that, I think it was the New Hampshire governor, Sununu, made a statement recently that no governor is allowed to close their state borders. And then 2 days later, you've got, they're not closed. Our borders aren't closed. We just put checkpoints at them.
I mean, I know
we'll turn you around if we don't want you, but they're not closed.
I know that you've been around long enough to know that the state doesn't follow any rules.
No, they do what they want.
They just do whatever they want.
Yeah, and under a so-called state of emergency, it basically wipes out any kind of constitutional protections, or at least that's what they want you to believe.
Yeah.
Now, of course, in theory, the Constitution's supposed to be the supreme law of the land, but
I mean, I have news
good luck with that.
For probably some of our listeners out there. Your rights don't end just because there's a virus.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, just accept that statement for what it is because it's a fact. It's true.
I agree with you there. We're going to go to your phone calls. You've got more to the story about the checkpoints on the way, but I also want to let you know about Bitcoin.com. Right now, Bitcoin is floating at about $6,200 per Bitcoin. And that is down significantly from where it was a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, where it was around $10,000, $9,500. So it might be a good time to start taking this pretty seriously, especially with the other topic we can talk about tonight, the $2.2 trillion bailout package that they just signed, that Trump just signed yesterday. They're going to be cranking out the money from the printing presses, which is going to mean that likely the value of the dollar is going to go down.
Give me liberty or give me $1,200.
Yeah, as it has done, of course, over the last 100 years or so. But Bitcoin.com can inform you about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and cryptocurrency in general. It's a good time to start learning about this. You got more time on your hands now than ever, likely, if you are your typical employed person or now unemployed person or furloughed person. So get on over to Bitcoin.com and you can go through their introductory kind of portion of the site
and literally getting into Bitcoin and all of the things that surround it. These are marketable skills that you might be able to use to enhance your future.
Yep. So Bitcoin.com. Get on over there. Let's go to your phone calls and start things out with Dave in New Hampshire. Dave, you're on Free Talk Live with Ian and Captain Kickass.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hi, Dave.
Instead of talking New Hampshire plague, how about we talk about a New Hampshire spring? So this is an opportunity for us to make the most of it's an opportunity for free staters to shine, right? I mean,
free staters are people who migrated to New Hampshire, who are libertarians, voluntarists, maybe liberty-loving anarchists. They've been migrating here for the last roughly 15 years. So what about them?
Well, it's an opportunity for us to shine. It's standing up to the government is what we're here for, and I can't think of a better time to do it than a time when it's being discouraged. So I did a demonstration today that may have been an act of civil disobedience. I just went to the nearest intersection basically and held a sign. And this was considered such a bizarre act that the media showed up.
Really?
What was the sign, Dave?
I kid you not, just one guy with a kind of boring sign, And it was the Keene Sentinel. I didn't get any. I mean, I've had previous. I guess Keene Sentinel was actually the third media outlet that covered it.
What did the sign say?
It just says, "Don't give up your right to protest." NHExit.com.
NHExit being the idea of New Hampshire seceding from the United States. And I wonder if people would be more or less susceptible to a message of secession during this time.
Both, I guess.
Okay. Did the news media
we're
just happen to see you there, or had you sent out a press release about this?
I sent out a news release.
Interesting.
And two outlets covered it before it happened, and then the media, and then the Sentinel cinematographer. But the goal here, what I want to do, I want to inspire everyone in New Hampshire to, who can safely do so, go to an intersection with a sign. If they're telling us that we shouldn't, then that's exactly what we should. As long as it's harmless.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm with you. Like the time for civil disobedience, the time to say no is definitely upon us. There's a faction of people in the world right now who want to tell you things like, now is not the time to do civil disobedience.
There are libertarians who are saying now is not the time
Well, they're wrong, because any time the state is infringing upon your rights is the time.
But what will your
now
neighbors
is
think?
the time.
But they'll think that you're a bad person because you're going outside of your house. You could put people in danger.
I've never really cared what my neighbors think about me, so perhaps I'm special.
Maybe that's why we get along.
It's not the time to do irresponsible stuff, right? Like if you're endangering others in some way, then that's not good. But
well, it's generally a bad idea to endanger others. I would say there's never a good time to endanger others. That does not go well. You're not going to bring anybody on board if you're out there causing a danger to people. But some people believe that the act of simply leaving your home is endangering others. And even though there's no actual evidence for that, because if I'm out, and you, Captain Kickass, you were out with me last night. We had a group gathering in Central Square here in downtown Keene. We had 9 people show up, so we weren't able to reach 11, which would have made it an extra civilly disobedient event. But there is a so-called stay-at-home order in place in New Hampshire. Now, there are some carve-outs on that particular order, but regardless, we went out and we had a good time. But there's some people who are being very nasty, apparently, about this. Aria, who's one of our co-hosts who was out with us last night, posted a few photos from social media of some so-called libertarians who are railing against this. Other people, like commenters on the freekeen.com blog, basically calling for our deaths because we could be somehow putting people in jeopardy. And I just don't understand the mentality there. If you want to stay home, stay home.
Yeah, you're free to stay home.
If you're at home, I'm not putting you in jeopardy.
Right.
Well, I think it might have been better. I don't know. I hope that you stayed 6 feet apart. It's better if you're not exposing anyone to anything. There may have been a better way to do this, but the thing is, I always like to say, I guess I said this last night, but it's like I call it the Yugoslavia 1940 phenomenon, where the Yugo army decided it was going to try to defend every single border against Hitler. It was impossible to do, when they should have just taken the army straight to Bosnia, which was defendable, right? And for us, we don't have to do civil disobedience on every issue or every new order. We can do it without endangering anyone, without being within 3 feet of anyone. There's plenty of things they're telling us not to do.
Well, now you've got people saying that 24 feet is the minimum distance. Are you going to start doing that too? Thanks for the call tonight, Dave. I appreciate it. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can take control of the airwaves. You can bring up whatever you want. And we got more on these checkpoints that are apparently coming to the state of Florida. Not sure how soon. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe already. It's Free Talk Live.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe Pick up some of those coins for yourself.
A congressman recently revealed that legislation totaling 2,900 pages and involving more than $1 trillion was available to members of Congress for less than 48 hours to study and consider. That's over 60 pages of legislation per hour. Do you think anyone read the entire bill? I'm Jim Babka with DownsizeDC.org. Consider a proposal buried in a 3,200-page, $388 billion bill, which would have empowered committee chairmen or their agents to examine Americans' tax returns. When this horrible provision came to light, no one claimed to know how it got into the bill. One congressman questioned said, "I didn't write it, I didn't approve it, I wasn't even consulted." If your attorney represented you this way, he might be disbarred. But this is how Congress represents you every day. That's why DownsizeDC.org has created the Read the Bills Act. You can force Congress to read their bills before they pass them at DownsizeDC.org.
How many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They'd rather keep their clients in the dark. There are too many lawyer jokes to count. However, there are some lawyers with more noble intentions. At the Institute for Justice, we bring the light to our clients. We are a non-profit public interest law firm with clear values and principles. At IJ, we fight for those whose most basic rights are denied by the government. Visit our website today at ij.org.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Toll-free number, 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, that's 855-450-3733. There, as always, in these Corona days, there's a lot to cover, a lot to talk about. Way more than we can possibly get on the air. We were just bemoaning this during the break because
3 hours not enough.
There's really, and in the past there have been days where I've been like, there's nothing in the news. Let's dig into the evergreen archives. What stuff have I been bookmarking for the last month? But now I don't have that problem anymore. Now it's like, my God, there's just so much that we should be talking about that we're just not going to have a chance to. I definitely do want to cover this $2 trillion so-called stimulus bill on the way here because I'm sure a lot of people are happy about this because they're going to get a check. But
I'm going to get my government cheese.
There's a bit of a dark side. And also, speaking of dark side, suicide calls to hotlines are dramatically increasing right now.
And we thought this would happen, right?
That's right, we did.
The isolation of everybody and the lack of human contact and, the disturbance in the force overall, right?
Yep. So these are all things we can discuss here tonight. Of course, your calls and thoughts welcome. Also, Captain Kickass has this story about Florida checkpoints going into place within the next couple of weeks, apparently. We'll tell you more about that on the way here. Also, want you to know about Intercoin. Intercoin's working to make cryptocurrency go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. If you missed your opportunity to get in on Bitcoin from the start, then here's your chance to join what might be the next revolution in money. Check out intercoin.org, and if you like what you see, pick up some of those coins for yourself. Just as the internet is a global network that connects local networks, Intercoin is a global currency platform that enables communities around the world to issue and manage their own currency so they may circulate it among their local population. Intercoin enables fintech innovation on the local community level, leading to stronger communities, greater sustainability, less poverty, and more productivity. Check out intercoin.org. And Free Talk Live listeners must know that Free Talk Live received $40,000 worth of tokens by Intercoin Incorporated for advertising. We're going to go to your calls and thoughts. We'll go to Jerome, listening in Charleston, South Carolina, on WTMA. Hello, Jerome.
Hey, hello.
Trump
Donald Trump is the new. Hey, hello. Hey, Donald Trump is the new socialist president now.
He's been a socialist. Yeah. All Republicans are a socialist.
They can't stick that on Bernie. You know. Oh, the Democrats, the socialist Democrats, the socialist Bernie Sanders. Yeah, well, all this money he's sending out, this is basically vote buying, okay? This is because he's worried about getting reelected. This is like vote buying to appease the public.
Well, hey,
and by the
that's
way,
what it is.
Hey, Jerome, I have a question for you. If the United States government is just able to print up to $2 trillion at a time and give
Trump
that away,
said it was $6.2 trillion when he signed the bill,
and give it away to whomever they decide, however they want, then why does anybody pay taxes?
Look, I don't know.
Good question.
All I know is this is the socialist president.
He just
of
knows he doesn't
America
like Trump
now.
that much.
Yeah,
he knows.
No, I just don't know. Because look, he's calling people names. Hey, did you catch what he called the reporter the other day?
No.
He asked him about ventilators. So, hey, don't be a cutie pie. Hey, don't be a wise guy. Hey, by the way, one other thing I need to mention, Wilbur Ross, this Commerce Secretary, made a comment back in January that doesn't seem to find its way to the airwaves, and the comment was the COVID-19 virus will be good for the economy. Hey, Wilbur,
that's ridiculous.
You still feel that way?
That's a ridiculous statement.
Yeah, well, he said it, but it never made.
Well, there's a certain economic fallacy,
fallacy,
Jerome, called the broken window fallacy, and a lot of people believe in this, where they believe that if something is destroyed, that somehow is good for the economy. The old example is the shop owner or whatever has his window broken by some street hoodlum or whatever, some kid, and that this is good because now the glass maker is going to get business, and this is going to mean that this economic activity would happen that wouldn't have otherwise happened. But what is unseen in that particular circumstance, because you can see the activity surrounding replacing the window, but what is unseen is the fact that the business owner or the person whose glass was broken now has however much money that costs, right? Like hundreds of dollars less that they could have used to do something more productive with for their business that they were planning on, doing an upgrade somewhere in the store, or maybe giving a bonus to one of their employees, or going on vacation, or
better marketing, or whatever.
Yeah. So this is what this statement that you're saying from this bureaucrat is, I think, evidence of the broken window fallacy, where he believes.
Ross.
Huh?
His name's Wilbur Ross.
I'm going to forget that in another 10 seconds.
Secretary.
Yeah, that means nothing to me. He's just the same as any other commerce secretary before him, and will be just the same as anyone after him. They're all a bunch of scum. They're thugs, and I want nothing to do with them. Thank you, Jerome. I appreciate the call.
Also, never trust a man with two first names.
All right, we continue here. Robert is in Charleston, South Carolina, also listening to WTMA. Go ahead, Robert.
Hi, I just wanted to say that, I'm a bicyclist and I have experience riding in Florida, South Carolina, the Washington, D.C. area, the New York City area, and other areas of the country. And the policemen and the people who do construction, and have these little detours, they're all very, very, very friendly to me. I've never had a problem with any of them. As a matter of fact, when I left Florida, they said to me, up there, it's cold up there. You really want to go up there? Why don't you stay in Florida? They wanted me to.
So you must not be a black man then, huh?
No, I happen to be white. But
okay, that probably helps.
Well, yeah.
Are you long-haired hippie?
No, I'm not.
No, that probably helps too then.
Also helps if you're docile and compliant.
Yeah, so what did you call it? Just praise the police for being so nice to you?
They're a very, very nice group of people. I've never
You're
met,
ridiculous.
as a whole, I've never met a nice
These
group
people are not nice. What they do as a job is threaten people's lives in order to get them to do what they say. If you don't pull over for those cops, they will run you off the road. And if you don't do what they say, they will shoot you if necessary.
They extort money from you.
That is
they
not
enforce victimless laws that have nothing to do with safety or security for anybody.
So I'm sure you'd feel good if you went through a checkpoint, right? Would that make you feel safe and secure, Robert?
Do you know that I belong to the police choir in Dresden, and they were so kind to me?
Wouldn't surprise me. Did you lick their boots too while you were at it?
No.
Yeah, I bet you did. If you'd have given the chance, they'd have given you the chance. You would have. Thanks for the call. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Let's go to Gus in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Gus, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Yeah, I heard today that Governor Whitmer, governor of Michigan, declared that there will be no use of the drugs that have been experimented with in France and other places to stop and get rid of the virus that's taking hold of our country and the world.
Yeah, you can't exercise your free will and take a drug that you deem might be helpful to you without the government's permission, of course.
Yeah, and she said it's going to be illegal to do that, and it's illegal for any doctor to prescribe that drug. Is that constitutional?
Well, it doesn't matter, see, because they do whatever they want to do, and you're not going to do anything about it.
These politicians currently are just wiping their butt with the Constitution, and they have been for quite some time.
Well, remember old George Bush the second, he said the Constitution was just a GD piece of paper.
I mean, that's a scientific fact. All of the Constitution really is words written down on a piece of paper. It has no power. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't stop anything. It doesn't authorize anything. It literally is just ink on paper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do about it? That's the real question.
Yeah, can the federal government overrule her and make that drug available in Michigan?
I guess in theory, the federal government can also do whatever it wants to do.
The real question is why does government need to give permission for a drug to, why aren't doctors making these decisions instead of government?
Right. Here's what I'd recommend. Check out the dark net. I don't know what this particular drug is called, but there may be people who are offering that drug available on the dark web, various different markets such as, I believe, Empire Market, Yellow Brick Road. If you go to dark.fail, when you get on the Tor browser, that'll give you the current Onion URLs. It does take some research, a little bit of a learning curve, but that may be a way to get your hands on some of these prohibited drugs, which of course will make you a criminal, but it might also save your life if that is indeed what these drugs do. And I'm not saying they will. I don't know anything about them, but it's up to you. It's your body. You should be able to decide what to do with it. Thank you, Gus, for the call tonight.
I'd prefer to be a living so-called criminal than a dead, guy who obeys.
Yeah, absolutely true. And also, if you're just a buyer on the dark web, it's pretty low risk. We're coming up here. This is Free Talk Live.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
Mortgage rates have dropped 25%, the lowest mortgage rates in years. So maybe you should drop everything and call Zoom Refi. Refinance your home now and slash your mortgage payments. Take cash out and save maybe hundreds of dollars every month. Zoom Refi mortgage rates are super low. Zoom Refi closing costs are super low. And Zoom, we approve you right over the phone, even for no income check loans. Big drop in mortgage rates. Big opportunity for you to save money. Call Zoom Refi today. 888-291-9729. 888-291-9729. Save on mortgage payments. Save on closing costs. Call Zoom Refi. 888-291-9729. Advertising by marketing entity Zoom Refi. Zoom Refi is not a bank or financial company. Calls and other inquiries may be forwarded to third-party lenders who are solely responsible for reviewing, approving, and servicing any loan. Zoom Refi is not affiliated with any state or federal agency and does not provide mortgage advice or help. No income check loans are for investment properties only, and income must be sufficient to service debt.
This is
George Norrie from Coast to Coast AM and History Channel's Ancient Aliens. We support the amazing energy, nutrition, and skincare products from Jeunesse. Jeunesse products are designed by leading doctors in their field with natural ingredients and even stem cell technology. These products help your body perform and look better. Shop Jeunesse at gcnlife.com or call 1-844-443-6637. gcnlife.com or 844-443-6637.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You dial in, toll-free number here for you, 855-450-FREE, and we're doing the live Saturday edition of the show with you tonight. You've got Ian.
And the Reverend Captain Kickass.
Also, want to say thank you to Chris Cowan, who is a Free Talk Live Silver Amplifier. Chris contributes to our AMP program at amp.freetalklive.com. And AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. It is a way for you to get behind what we do here and help us get on more radio stations around the United States, get more internet listeners on board, exposing new people to the ideas of freedom, because, well, there just really isn't another show doing that at the level that this show is. I wish I could say there was, but there's not. So if you want to help us out, go to amp.freetalklive.com and do what Chris did. Join up. He's a silver amplifier, meaning he does $5 a month. That is the standard amp level. You can do more if you want, but you get access to some perks, get some bennies for being a Free Talk Live amplifier, like access to the AMP discussion rooms on our chat server on our Discord. We've also got some other perks that you can learn about over at ampamp.freetalklive.com. PayPal, credit card, Bitcoin, BTC. You can use any of those payment methods, and we sure do appreciate it. So thanks, Chris, and to all of our other amplifiers and those who've amplified in the past. We'd love to have you back. Head on over to amp.freetalklive.com. We're going back to your phone calls and thoughts, and then more on the checkpoints that should be popping up very soon on the borders of the state of Florida. And maybe, because remember, a lot of these state governments like to watch each other and see, ooh, they got away with checkpoints.
Politicians see, politician do.
We should do checkpoints too.
Monkey dance.
Safety. Let's talk to, what do we got here? Jill is on the line in Richmond, Virginia, listening to WNTW. Hello, Jill.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Jill.
I accepted that you have no right to put your germs into another person's body. But the Defense Production Act was always unconstitutional
The what
and
act?
I think well, that's what they call it now. I don't know. It's some kind of Defense Production Act or something like that, under which it seems that Donald Trump thinks he can order GM to make those other machines.
Right, that's the thing
Why
where
does the government have the right to tell a company what machines it has to make? That's
Right.
a violation of property rights and of the 13th Amendment.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Jill, you're right. I had an article for show prep today about that very thing where
They're ordering them to make ventilators. Is that right?
Yeah, and the act that you're talking about, if I remember correctly, was only supposed to be able to be enacted during, we'll call it, congressionally approved wartime. So the fact, which isn't now,
Temporary. It's always for one unlimited purpose. Until they get their foot in the door. And then
I
one
love
party
this
thinks
lady,
that-
man.
One
You are
party
feisty.
thinks it'll be all right, but then when the shoe's on the other foot, they won't like it so much.
Well, this is called nationalizing an industry. In countries like Venezuela, where they're known for just taking over industry, where the state comes in, takes a productive business, just takes everything, takes the factory, grabs it all for the socialist state. They're doing the same thing in the United States, but as you pointed out, it's only temporary. Well, if these people at GM feel like they want to make ventilators because they want to help or be seen as helping, they will likely change and do that voluntarily.
Which apparently they were doing. They were making these ventilators, but the president, for some reason, didn't like how many or how fast or whatever, something about it. So he decided he was going to order them.
You know what else? Ayn Rand said that those laws she invented in Atlas Shrugged were already on the books already, but apparently they just hadn't dared to do all that much with them. But when they
a lot of all these state governments have what are called states of emergency statutes. But basically, they just throw out whatever remnants of the Constitution they'd had, and they just do whatever it is they want to do. Because most people, if they are afraid, will allow the government to do anything. And that's what we're seeing happen here, where people are just, their rights have completely been trampled on by this COVID-19 situation, which I'm still not convinced is any more deadly than the common flu. I just don't buy the claims from the governments. I don't buy these numbers, and I understand people are freaked out, but I don't know if there's really any rationale for this at all.
You can make a case maybe for some quarantine for a while, but that's it. I mean, telling companies what they got to make and what they have to do, that's going over the line.
Great call, Jill. Thank you
thank you, Jill.
for making. Would love to hear more from you in the future. She's great.
Please call more regularly, Jill. You're awesome.
I like a feisty older lady, man. They're fun. You don't hear libertarian viewpoints coming out of women's mouths very often, so it's nice to hear it. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. Let's talk to Pat in northern Michigan. Pat, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Pat, the Green Wolverine, calling in from the Great White North.
All right, Pat, what's on your mind tonight?
Well, I've been off the grid and under the table for better than half my life.
Excellent.
And I have had the government steal pretty much my soul. Yeah, I don't think that the captain there is afraid of the green air that comes out of the inner tube, so I would beg him to punch up the interstate commerce law.
Yeah.
I've got a couple points to make, and this will come up pertinent later in the show. What I called in about is we do have checkpoints on the Michigan-Ohio line.
Really?
And
are these new?
Well, they're right on the I-75 corridor, the main trunk going down to Florida there.
But are they new, or have they been there for a while?
No, these are new. But my daughter just moved back here from Arizona about 6 months ago, and they had checkpoints out there with ice all on the highways. You never knew where they were going to be.
So when did they install these checkpoints?
I believe this is probably in the last week.
And who is running them? Is it the state of Michigan or Ohio?
I would believe it's Michigan because Ohio is more infected.
Okay. And what are they doing at these checkpoints? Are they stopping all traffic?
I don't know. Son. I'm like 300 miles north. I haven't been down to the Ohio line.
So you were told by your daughter about this?
No, I was told by my son. He plays with the inner tube more than I do. But
Interesting.
There was a time in history where there was a war between Ohio and Michigan. Most of your listeners probably aren't even aware of this. Yeah, the Ohio-Michigan border war. There's a place called maybe Michigan because every 3 months it changed. It might be Michigan, it might be Ohio. Maybe, we don't know.
I've heard of this place. That's the first time I've heard anybody bring it up in a long time. But go on.
But well, I guess what I'm calling in on is how the law stole my life. About 20 years ago, I was convicted of a misdemeanor CSC.
What's
and
that?
I'm sure
What's a
all your
CSC?
listeners are going to say a criminal sexual conduct.
Okay.
Okay, so my crime was I snapped a teenager's waistband and made a joke about her hair color.
And you were, this was 20 years ago, so how old were you at the time?
20, I was about 40.
Okay.
But it's neither here nor there. It was a bad drunk decision. I mean, if I had it to take back, Lord knows I'd do it.
Right.
But so they stole 10 years from my life right there, put me on probation and all that.
For a misdemeanor?
Well, yeah, for a misdemeanor. Oh, and it gets even better, dude. It
I'm
gets
sure
way
it does,
better.
but you got to
I can
keep it to
tell you
less than a minute, so go ahead.
All right. Well, they on the ninth month in the or ninth year of the 11th month, they sent me a piece of paper saying they were going to extend my probation by 15 years.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, bang, dude. So this is right during the Obama glut. I couldn't. You couldn't dig up $1 if you knew where it was buried. Right? I'm a carpenter. The gas boom was going on, so I headed out for the West. And I built houses and made, man camps and all that kind of stuff. And I come to find, I smelled the law on my tail.
Mm-hmm.
And before I had left, my ex-wife, never trust your ex-wife, had told me that Montana did not have a residency or a registration for misdemeanor offenses.
She lied to you.
So I was in North Dakota. So I bounced across the Montana line. I worked there for 6-8 months. Finally, evidently come to pass, this is only for this is a Montana.
You got to wrap this up in 20 seconds, man. I'm sorry, I know it's your life story, but
follow you. They threw me in federal prison for a year. Jesus. I lost 2 trucks, all my tools, thousands of dollars in
all
gold
of this from
and
snapping
guns.
Somebody's underwear.
And they finally gave me a felony, which they've been trying to hang around my neck for 50 frickin' years.
Pat, I want to thank you for calling to share that story. I wish we could hear more about it, but we got a lot of calls here waiting. We're going to get to them. Thank you for calling, and I know that you've called before, so I'm sure we'll hear from you again. I appreciate it, man. Sorry to hear about that, and it's not uncommon that these people who've done very little have been punished to the maximum extreme, as though it's going to make some sort of
caught up
difference.
in the churn.
Yep. Hour number 2's next. You can join us here live Saturday edition, Free Talk Live.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone? You forgot to download our archive? and you have no data connection, you can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,643, silver at $14.61, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,203. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, Doctors for Assange, a group of 195 medical professionals from 30 countries, released a statement Friday, strongly condemning a British court decision to keep WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange incarcerated, despite a possible outbreak of COVID-19 at Belmarsh Prison in London, where Assange is being held. The group argued that due to his history of medical neglect, extremely fragile health, and his chronic lung condition, Assange was at particular risk of both contracting and dying from the virus. Minpress News reports that despite acknowledging he was at increased risk, the district judge denied him bail because she considered him a flight risk. The Australian publisher's hearing played out in a bizarre circumstance on Wednesday. The court, like the rest of the United Kingdom, was on lockdown, meaning only 15 people were in attendance. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. The coronavirus pandemic has caused worldwide panic, with many countries struggling to come up with an appropriate aid package or a coronavirus relief bill as the number of COVID-19 cases spikes. Not sitting on the sideline, crypto companies are doing their part to help. Activist Post reports blockchain-powered donation platform Binance Charity initiated a $5 million coronavirus relief campaign on Wednesday. As of press time, its Crypto Against COVID campaign had received 24 donations, amounting to a total of 160.6306 Bitcoin, its website details. A wallet has been set up for public donations, which can be made in BNB, BTC, BUSD, and XRP. Binance explained that it will make an upfront donation of $1 million in BUSD, which will be converted to fiat and used to purchase supplies to send to hospitals in affected countries. Binance is also matching donations of up to $1 million. As healthcare workers continue to cope with a tsunami of patients infected with COVID-19, they've been forced to cope with critical shortages of N95 face masks that block the virus. The Mind Unleashed reports that some facilities like New York Presbyterian Hospital are burning through no less than 40,000 N95 masks per day. But now, researchers at Duke University in Durham, North Carolina, say they've discovered a method to decontaminate the masks and reuse them, extending a crucial lifeline to frontline medical staff coping with surging cases of the virus. Scientists are using specialized equipment to vaporize hydrogen peroxide, permeating the layers of the N95 mask with a cleansing aerosol that can kill germs, including viruses, without degrading the materials used in the precious masks. The decontamination technology and method has long been in use by Duke Health's Biocontainment Lab, but applying it to the typically disposable N95 masks had not been considered until the present crisis. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Shortly after having sexual intercourse with a prostitute earlier this afternoon, local man Jacob Reynolds told reporters that he never expected the experience would bring him to new heights of emotional and spiritual fulfillment.
I was convinced that having sex with a complete stranger behind my wife's back would leave me feeling drained and empty on the inside, but my self-esteem is through the roof.
Reynolds, who said he paid $150 for a 30-minute block of time, said that his moderate expectations for the encounter were instantly surpassed by what turned out to be a deeply personal sexual communion that transported him to a new plane of emotional intimacy.
I've never felt a stronger sense of spiritual connection. When our bodies met, there was an immediate sense of familiarity and comfort that just washed over me. I think it was the most meaningful experience of my life.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. We're launching into the second hour of the program. You, as always, are invited to join us here. The number is 855-450 free like freedom. That's freedom. 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. In the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And the captain.
So just to bring you up to speed, if you're just tuning in, we're going to get right back into your phone calls here in a moment. But at the beginning of the last hour, Captain, you shared like a few sentences of a story about Florida, the governor there putting in checkpoints into place on the Florida border.
Yes.
And we didn't get much further into that story, but one of my questions was, have these already been put into place? And from what we've seen over the last break, we just dug around a little bit on the internet. Yes, they are.
Since Friday, apparently.
The checkpoints are already in place. Before we go back to the phones and to your calls and thoughts, you can call in about anything that you want, of course. But, you know, this police state reaction to, and I would call it tremendous overreaction to this questionable virus. What else do we need to know about what's going on with Florida and these checkpoints?
Well, we already covered that the checkpoints don't apply to commercial drivers, but they already have checkpoints for commercial drivers. So
right, way stations.
This is a quote from DeSantis. This is the is it the governor
of Florida?
He says there will probably be a diversion for folks with certain license plates.
Oh, okay, that sounds like discrimination.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
He didn't give any specifics as to where further checkpoints will be installed.
They're specifically looking to stop people from Louisiana. I just read in a different story because that's where
New York,
there's a lot of cases.
Along with that, DeSantis also added to the executive order affecting New York travelers, adding a similar 2-week isolation for anyone coming to Florida from Louisiana. So if you're from New York or Louisiana and you travel into Florida, you could be detained for up to 2 weeks for isolation.
Now, what does that mean? Because we've heard people saying previously, like some places have said it's a self-imposed quarantine, meaning they say, all right, mister, if you're coming in here, you need to self-impose a quarantine for 2 weeks. But that doesn't say self-imposed, so it makes me wonder if they're going to lock you in a cell.
I guess we'll have to keep monitoring the situation and find out when it happens to somebody, because we haven't really seen anybody challenge any of this kind of stuff from either an individual or from a business basis, right? We haven't seen any businesses go...
There was that business in Ohio that got raided and shut down, where they like literally sent construction workers out to put boards over the doors of it was like a restaurant.
Oh, that's right.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, they closed up a bar or something, right? They boarded it up. I do remember that.
Yep. And then there's also another headline that a couple folks have been arrested down in Hawaii for violating the stay-at-home order.
I mean, you can't get any more isolated than a Pacific island.
There's probably cases there, would be my guess.
I'm sure,
I've heard the Marianas just got their first 2 cases. within the last 24 hours.
So anyway, I guess the point is that these checkpoints are looking to treat people differently based on where their, what license plate is on their vehicle.
And they do exist already, so if you want to comment on that, you're welcome to join us. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE.
Do you want a police state? Because checkpoints are how you get a police state.
Yeah, I hope if somebody goes through one of these police state checkpoints, they have their video camera rolling and they put that video online so we can see exactly what these officers are doing and saying at these checkpoints. And remember, you still have your rights. I understand that the government goons don't care about that.
Yep.
But if you believe that you have rights, you should also exercise those rights, which means you still have the right to remain silent. And, of course, the Supreme Court has ruled, as I understand it, and this isn't legal advice, but my understanding that they've ruled that you have to invoke your right. You have to verbally invoke your right to remain silent, which just doesn't make sense, but that's what they said.
Oxymoron.
So it's, in my opinion, and this is not a legal opinion, it's just my thoughts, I like the move of saying, I don't answer questions. Whenever some cop asks you a question, if you get pulled over at one of these checkpoints and they're starting to pepper you with questions about who you are and where you're from and all this, I don't answer questions. Now, you may be obligated to identify yourself if you're a driver.
Yep.
If you're in the passenger seats, generally you don't have that obligation. But if you are a driver, you probably do have to identify yourself, even though it's a suspicionless checkpoint. You should probably still hand over a driver's license in that case, but you don't have to answer any questions.
Well, and I said it at the top of the first hour, and I'll say it again now, and I'm sure I'll say it again and again and again. Your rights as an individual human being on the planet Earth do not end or go away just because there's a frickin' virus.
Let's go to your calls and thoughts. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. Let's talk to Sam. He's in Myrtle Beach, listening to WRNN. Go ahead, Sam.
Yes, the governor of Rhode Island is doing the same thing.
Really?
Rhode Island, I'm told, is...
Now, it's interesting to me that so many of these people that were for open borders on our southern border, now they want their borders closed.
Yeah, Rhode Island...
She's having the state...
I'm sorry, I'm told that Rhode Island may be rolling out National Guard.
Absolutely.
I heard that Rhode Island was actually trying to hunt down New Yorkers, that they were going house to house.
I read the same thing today. They're supposedly trying to stop people hunting down people who have escaped, quote, to their summer homes in Newport and telling them that they have to be quarantined. But even if these people in quarantine are sealed off, if they get sick, they're still going to need to go to the hospital. They're still going to infect people. Now, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You're so into the freedom and the this and the that.
Yeah.
I grew up a country boy in North Carolina, so believe me, we owned everything around us. So I know what it is to be free.
Mm-hmm.
But how would you like it if, let's say, Rhode Island diverted all the people that were fleeing New York into New Hampshire? Would that be okay with you?
Well, look, I don't care what people do, so yeah, that's fine.
It would be.
Yep.
Seriously?
Yeah. Why would I care?
So you wouldn't care if they took half the population of New York and put it in New Hampshire?
Well, first of all, half the population isn't going to come to New Hampshire, but if people want to travel to a better place, then they should be free to travel somewhere.
Particularly, like you said, if they own a place in a different state or a different community, different area of, if they own the property, you should be free to travel to your other property.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in freedom, which includes the freedom to go somewhere where you have a right to be. Now, look, that doesn't mean that they get to go on your private property. If you've got private property and you want to keep people out, then that's your right to do that.
Well, here, there are people here who own second homes in hotels and high-rises and different things.
Yeah.
All those hotels are shut
Mm-hmm.
for public safety concerns. Should those people have a right to access their property? I don't think so.
Yeah, absolutely they should. If they own a thing, then of course they should have a right to access it.
If the whole hotel is shut down, you should open it up and force people to work.
If you own the hotel, you should be able to open up your hotel.
You don't own the hotel, though. They own like condos inside hotels, high rises.
Okay. I don't know a whole lot about condos in hotels. That's a new concept for me. I guess they could do that, but usually condos are different from hotels. But maybe they have mixed use.
No, it's called condo. Yeah, they're owned individually here.
Are they like
And so they've shut down all the
condotels?
hotels. Right,
Okay.
condotels. That's what they call it.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
I had no
20-story
idea. I've never even heard of that
high-rises
before.
where They're 200 or 300 units, and they're all owned by people. 2/3 of which are probably from.
I don't think some
United
bureaucrat should be able to tell you that you have to close your business.
Yeah. Why do you think people's rights should go away just because there's a virus?
I don't know that it should. I don't know that it will.
Well, it has.
Let me ask you this question: Should we have stopped flights from China? Should we quarantine New York City, New Jersey, parts of Connecticut?
There's no we. There's only individuals.
I think that the individual companies should make their own decisions for themselves. If United Airlines or American Airlines or, fill in the blank airlines don't want to service China because they feel like it's a risk to their passengers or their crews, they should be able to make that choice. Each individual on those airlines should be able to say, look, let's say United cuts it off and American Airlines keeps going. If the American Airlines employees feel uncomfortable with that, they should quit their jobs. And each individual should be free to make these choices for themselves. Thank you, Sam, for the call tonight. Anything else is tyranny. 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE. And I don't care how scary the virus is. I don't accept some bureaucrat, some politician who normally people wouldn't trust these people making decisions. Why are they all of a sudden trustworthy? Because there's a virus.
Yeah.
It's Free Talk Live.
If you're attacked by a bear, a dog will throw himself into the mouth of the bear to save you. Dogs are dogs. They pour out their love onto you. Before long, you can't live without them. I have a chocolate cocker spaniel named Lady and a blackmouth cur. He's about 120 pounds, and his name is Arlo. My little cocker, her coat's as soft as a stuffed animal. They're both real soft coats, and my dogs don't have any health problems because they're eating what they need to eat.
DINOVITE.com.
Dynavite is like pouring a multivitamin right onto their food.
The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
We'll be scooping our Dynavite onto the food, then squirting the liquor chops and the fish oil. They start salivating.
Dynavite is nutrition.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
It's a lot of responsibility owning a dog. I get my Dynavite at DINOVITE.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Are you about to meet the media? If you're about to be interviewed, do their homework for them. Know this about the person who will interview you. He or she is busy, so expect minimal, if any, preparation. He or she doesn't know as much about your topic as you do. He or she isn't as concerned as you are about getting your message out, so you need to take responsibility. Provide a biography and fact sheet, photographs, or other materials that tell your story. Reporters won't be put off if you supply frequently asked questions. Remember, Public Speaking 101, at the end of the speech, what's the one thing you want them to remember? You can download the document I supply to reporters who interview me and squirm through a video that demonstrates how not to conduct your media interview at www.survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Bring up anything that you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. It's Ian.
And the captain.
And the next generation of wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat currencies like the dollar in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new Divvy wallet launches because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at divvyproject.org, DIVI project.org.
Real quick, I have to read this on the air. This is from WPRI.com talking about Rhode Island and their rolling out of the National Guard. The National Guard to go door to door looking for New York travelers.
Whoa.
And this, as Hi Guy in our Discord chat pointed out, escape from New York, literally a thing now.
This is pretty scary stuff. Apparently also, somebody in our chat room, Baraka66, pointed out that Quebec now adding checkpoints and forbidding non-essential travel to 8 regions. So we're seeing checkpoints not only in the United States, but now also in Canada.
It's getting dumber.
It's getting pretty crazy. We're going to go to your phone calls and thoughts here. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE, like freedom. Let's start by talking to Jeff. He's in Daytona, Florida, listening to WNDB. Go ahead, Jeff. Jeff?
Share.
Yeah, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Okay, I think it's incredibly ironic that for several years now, at least, I've been hearing about the millennials and how they're not communicating to each other face to face. They don't know how to interact with other groups of people,
right?
And even like psychologists and everyone saying this. And now here we are saying self-quarantine. Don't come together in any groups. Don't even go to people for 6 feet away, and just communicate by text. And this is what they've been saying. They go out and they're texting each other, sitting next to each other, and now they're saying, well, don't do it, So basically, the millennials are perfectly prepared for this. I just think that's the ultimate irony.
Yeah, well, and that is part of this whole situation, is that Americans generally are prepared for this kind of tyranny that they're enacting. Not just the millennials. I mean, certainly you're right. They are the best prepared for it. They are the ones who've lived under the police state since 9/11, right? They put in all kinds of new restrictions on a lot of these millennials don't remember a life before the TSA, for instance. And then you add the electronic factor where they're constantly buried in their phones. But that's not just true of millennials. It's true of all kinds of age groups. You see people on their phones everywhere, and I use it too, constantly for work and communication and all that. So people are ready for this, and it's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all.
And just one other quick statement here. When you're talking about all these roadblocks, and they're having them here in Florida too, I mean, and highways, how are they going to track these people? Like, okay, they pull you over and they say you're from New York, you have to go self-quarantine, and then the person takes off.
Are they saying it's self-quarantine? Because that's not what the news story we had wasn't making that clear. It wasn't clear whether it was a self-quarantine or if it was they're going to lock you up.
Right. I heard earlier in the day that they were just saying go self-quarantine, and I heard some people saying that they're giving them forms to fill out and return to them, and people are just rolling them up and throwing them away. But I mean,
Nice.
are they going to chip these people? Are they going to put a big scarlet red or
Don't
letter
give
on
them any
their chest?
ideas.
Yeah, no, they're probably just going to track you via your phone. I've been meaning to read an article that states as much, that your governments are likely going to begin using your cell phones to track you. And
Well, okay, here's a suggestion, right? So, and this is not what I want them to do, but this is likely how they're handling it on the early stages. Maybe they are going to demand phone numbers down the line, Captain Kickass, or maybe they already are at these checkpoints. I don't know. But if you ever travel into another country, like I've visited Mexico, for instance, they always give you a form to fill out, and on that form they ask you where you're going to be staying. So you have to put down the address of the hotel or your family member's house or whoever it is that you're going to be staying with. Obviously, you can tell a lie on that form. It's just a piece of paper. However, if they come looking for you, let's say they're doing a random spot check or something like that, and you aren't at the place where you said you were going to be, then they're going to be upset about that. And so maybe what they're going to do is they're going to demand that people give them information about where they're staying, and they're going to check up on them. Just like in Rhode Island, they're going house to house apparently looking for New Yorkers. Maybe they're going to do the same thing, collect information at the checkpoints, and then send local police to follow up and make sure those people are still doing the quarantining.
Yeah, but do you see the irony here too? On the one hand, they're talking about all these criminals being cloistered in jails as being a hotbed for spreading virus, and they're talking about letting a lot of them go. But now, on the other hand, they're engaging new laws saying we're going to lock a lot of people up.
Right.
So it's just this like yin and yang.
it's a vicious cycle. Yeah,
Well,
it absolutely is.
Yeah, and that is an interesting point, because the only thing they can do is use violence and the threat of violence to gain people's cooperation. But for the most part, the reason we have the governments we have today is because people put up with it. Is because people do, by and large, what they're told to do. In New Hampshire here, Captain Kickass, you and I just went out last night with a group of not quite 10 people. We hit 9, I think, at our peak last night.
We tried.
Right as soon as the governor's order to stay at home went into place, we went out. And we went out and hung out in Central Square in downtown Keene. We had a good old time, and the police drove by a few times, and they didn't do anything about it. And part of the order that came out from the Department of Justice, as far as how the police were supposed to handle violations of the governor's order, was to use so-called discretion, which police have, and obviously they used last night by completely ignoring us. But in the event that they weren't to ignore us, they're supposed to try to persuade you to go into so-called voluntary compliance. So they're not supposed to whip out the handcuffs right away, as is typical with a lot of these government approaches, where it's like, you better do this or else, and then you go and do it, and they leave you alone.
Right.
But if you don't do what they say, then they're supposed to issue like a written notice or a written warning or something like that. And
They'll write you a very stern letter.
Yeah, and then if you keep violating it, then they're authorized, using their discretion, to arrest you.
Yeah.
So you have to supposedly violate it more than a few times, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, but just because there's 3 steps before the gun comes out doesn't mean there isn't a gun behind every law.
Yeah, but the point
or order
being,
or whatever it is.
They'll very rarely have to get to pulling the guns out, because most people do what they're told. And that's what they're counting on. So it's not likely that they're going to fill a jail with disobedience. Because if we had that mentality for non-cooperation and disobedience in this country, we would already have jails filled with disobedience for, who would be violating all kinds of stupid laws out there. But most people don't want to go to jail. And it's a fairly effective deterrent. Thank you, Jeff, for your call. I appreciate hearing from you tonight. Good thoughts. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And apparently, we're not close to the limit of what people are willing to put up with. I don't think we're even close to it.
No, we haven't. No. If we were anywhere near, we would see more business owners going ahead and opening their doors because their businesses have been crushed anyway. They have nothing left to lose.
If a business owner were to do that, would anyone go?
I don't know.
I mean, I would, but would anyone else?
It depends on the business, I suspect. But,
would their customers come out of their homes?
There's so many unanswered questions. I have no idea.
The only way we would find out is if a business owner actually opened their doors.
Yeah.
And then they would become a target. And then we'd find out what happened.
We would.
And maybe that will happen as this gets worse and as the crackdown continues and as they're about to lose their business and they figure, you know what, screw it, I'm going to lose my business anyway. Maybe I should throw the doors open. It's Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Free Talk Live.
Who stopped her from sitting down?
People stop black people before Rosa Parks all the time. They used force. They used dogs. They used fire hoses. They brought in the National Guard. Come on, man. It's like you don't even know what happened in your own country.
To the present. You're talking about
that's right, Mark. That's the past.
You have to be informed by history.
James, you've acknowledged that there's a bunch of bad laws today, but are you saying now that today that bad laws should be obeyed by good people?
Bad laws should be changed. And
but in the meantime,
you should not break them.
But in the meantime, you're saying obey all the bad laws, no matter what they say.
You need to obey the laws, yeah. The way that they are
like
written.
Rosa Parks should have.
Why don't you go kiss the boot?
All those slaves should have stayed off in their masters' houses. They shouldn't have escaped because that's illegal.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin, but imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You're invited here to join us. Toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Snake Plissken. No, I'm just kidding. It's the captain. Snake Plissken, I thought you were dead.
I thought you were taller.
Yeah. Wait, me or Snake?
Whoever. So you can join us here. We're talking about the checkpoints that are apparently now in place in not just Florida, but also in Quebec province in Canada. Apparently, they're now chasing down New Yorkers in the state of Rhode Island. And
yeah, if you're from New York and you're in Rhode Island, you are being hunted currently, apparently.
Scary stuff. And what level of tyranny are people willing to tolerate? Apparently, quite a bit. Apparently, being told you have to stay in your home at all times except to go outside to get some fresh air, and that's about it.
I mean, if bombs started dropping on a U.S. city, there would be people in that city who are oblivious. Oh, I don't know, blah, right? They would be just, encased in this fog of non-reality.
Let's continue with your calls and thoughts here. You can bring up anything you want. We're going to talk next to Tom in Salina, Kansas, listening to KINA. Hello, Tom.
Yes, Ian and Captain.
Yes,
yeah, when I have been stopped or by police, if I feel I'm being intimidated, I tell them, I say, presently at the advice of my legal counsel, I am advised not to answer any questions unless my legal counsel is present. And if they pursue it, I said it's my right to remain silent. And that after that, they pretty much shut up.
Right.
They're not dealing with some.
They realize they're dealing with someone who knows their rights, and they're not dealing with a typical pushover.
I mean, to me, the right to remain silent means you can just say nothing and be silent. Remain silent. You've already been silent, and now you're going to remain silent.
Sadly, the Supreme Court disagreed with you on that, Captain Kickass.
But it's just an illustration of how dumb things are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share, Tom?
Well, in the past, I had been accused of something, and when I was arrested, the detectives, one took my statement, and then another one came in, and he tore up my statement. He said, that statement sucks.
Okay.
And as I protested after my attorney, and we had a Huntley hearing, and the judge ruled in my favor. The Huntley hearing, is the dispute between the accused and the police. But they said, that I said this, and I said I didn't say that. I said my statement was torn up,
right? And
the judge believed me. And there was actually a video camera in there.
Interesting.
And one of the officers said, I said to my attorney, I go, there's a camera in the interrogation room. And he said that he wasn't aware of that. And I said, well, how long have you been working there? And he said, made the
wait. Just to be clear, the cop said he didn't know, or your attorney said he didn't know there was a camera in there?
The cop. My attorney said, are you aware that there's a camera? And he said he didn't know.
What a liar!
Yeah.
Wow.
And the judge ruled in my favor that this one, the statement that I made. And then the other detective tore it up, and he said, he goes, that statement sucks.
Amazing. Thank you, Tom.
He wrote down what he wanted, but it shows you have to fight for what you want.
It's absolutely true. You're not going to get it by default. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate your call tonight. Let's talk to Suzanne. She's in Daytona, Florida, listening to WNDB. Hello, Suzanne.
Hi, guys. First time I've heard you tonight. And I have to say, look, this idiotic virus, the influenza, kills more people than this has so far every year. And I don't buy it. I don't buy the panic. It's ridiculous. It's asinine. But what really bothers me now, you see it on Facebook, you hear it from people you know. The rats are out. If you're not complying with what we're told to do to prevent this dreaded virus, they will rat you out. They'll at least scold you about it. And when are they going to just start ratting us out?
Oh, that's already in the news.
Madison, Wisconsin, the law enforcement agency there had a website that folks could go to.
A snitch site.
A snitch site. And I have an article.
And in the UK.
Man, that's so Orwellian. It's just horrible.
Well, and this out of Bellevue, Washington. This is a Seattle suburb. Bellevue, Washington has also rolled out a tool to report stay-at-home violations on their website as well.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so not only are people willing to snitch, but the government is helping them to snitch on their fellow neighbors and families by providing them a tool in which to do so.
It is horrible. Look, I'm in the highest risk group, 67, type 2 diabetes. I am not afraid of this idiotic virus.
That's
it's not
awesome.
killing enough people. It's really not.
Well, now, okay,
And
let me play
about,
devil's advocate with you here, Suzanne. So some would say that it's not killing as many people because everybody's doing the social distancing. They're being good little citizens. They're following the rules. Everybody's quarantining, and so that's why it isn't killing as many people as the flu.
No, I just fail to believe that this is about a virus. I think this is more a test of martial law and obedience. I'm sorry. That's just me.
I totally agree.
Yep.
Totally agree. In fact, we read a story from RT a couple of nights ago, which was really interesting, written by a doctor. Of course, Dr. Ron Paul also had an interesting opinion piece about this, calling this mostly a hoax. Mm-hmm. But this other guy pointed out that all the big scary numbers out of Italy, because that's been, until the U.S. took the lead this last week, Italy was the big scary, numbers place.
Yeah.
And they were pointing out that a lot of these folks who were dying there had already had 1 to 3 different sort of morbidity issues, meaning they had serious heart disease or some other malady that they were suffering from, were already hospitalized, already, on death's door or whatever. And then when they died, they chalked it up to coronavirus. Maybe it was the coronavirus that finished them off. Maybe it wasn't. It's one of those things where, person died, person had coronavirus, so therefore they're chalking it up to coronavirus. In the same way that if you get into a car accident and there's a bottle of liquor in the back seat, it's an alcohol-related, death or whatever, even though you might not have even been drunk. So, and then you add to the fact that they're inflating the death numbers. Also, they don't have enough testing ability to really know how many people are infected. So the percentage of people who are dying from this is probably way lower as compared to the absolute number of people who have or have had this thing. So it's way blown out of proportion.
Exactly, and we need herd immunity. Sorry, but we need it. I don't buy the whole thing.
Yeah, that's how nature works with these kinds of things.
By herd immunity, you mean people acquiring the virus, defeating the virus, and that way they wouldn't be able to be as susceptible in the future? Is that what you mean?
I mean that like maybe 60% of the population has been exposed to the virus, developed antibodies, and it protects the vast majority of people. The thing can, just wipe us all out. And I don't think it would anyhow. It's not that vicious, the virus.
I can't disagree with you, Suzanne. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. I appreciate you being on the line with us tonight. Appreciate that.
I'm listening for you in the future.
Great. We'd love that, and would love to hear back from you. Thanks for the call. Great call. Toll-free number tonight. Our lady callers tonight are on it.
Yeah.
Toll-free number, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. But this is so crazy considering that the flu is so far more deadly than this. And if they did the same thing with the flu, Captain, if every flu case gets reported, there's a map with the death map on it with the infection rates of the flu as it's spreading throughout the flu season, and the media was getting out there reporting the worst cases, because that's all the media is going to report on. The media is not going to do a report on somebody who acquires coronavirus, beats it, and moves on with their life. They're going to do a report on the teenager that died from it. They're going to do a report.
And those things have happened, though. People have recovered from it just fine.
Thousands of them.
Yeah.
The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up whatever's on your mind. We are here in the live Saturday edition of the program. And you can also call us on our Discord call-in lines, by the way, over on our Discord server. Just join the Discord over at discord.lrn.fm. You can install the app. It's totally free. This is Free Talk Live.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's mypillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
Attention all radio listeners who still need food supplies. If you've thought about the implication of food-related supply chain disruptions and are concerned about the coming quarantines, this will be the most important message you will ever hear. Here's why. In the next few days, all Americans will face extremely hard choices. If we've learned anything from China and Italy, it's that quarantines and enforced lockdowns are just a few days away here in the U.S. Listen, while dehydrated food is becoming scarce, you can still get enough open pollinated heirloom seeds to grow a 1-acre crisis garden. The truth is, growing nutrient-dense vegetables in the days ahead may actually be the single most important thing you do. Go to survivalseedbank.com and watch the new video to understand the nature of the threat. This could be life-saving. Lockdowns can last from 6 to 8 weeks. Get free bonus seeds, special quarantine reports too. Go to survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
Yeah, it's Free Talk Live Saturday edition of the show. You can join us here. Toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. With you tonight, it's Ian.
And the captain.
Also want to let you know about liberty.menu. If you are an individual who rejects the initiation of force and agrees to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle, then you ought to be over at liberty.menu. You can list the things that you do there. Maybe you've got a business, or you've got digital content that you're the creator of. Maybe you've got an event that you're trying to organize. That's harder than it's ever been. But you can go to liberty.menu and you can put your things that you do on the list where others can rate and review your thing, and you can do the same thing for others that you've patronized. It's kind of a bit of a social network as well. It's a pretty cool site, and it works great. Go to liberty.menu. You can use code FTL to get a special Free Talk Live listener badge on your profile there. That's liberty.menu. Let's go back to the phones, to the fun. Let's talk to Rick. He's in Chattanooga, Tennessee, listening to WGOW on the FM band. Go ahead, Rick.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Great. Welcome, sir. You're on the air.
Rick.
You know what? I think you guys sound like libertarians to me, and that's great. I hope you are.
Yes, we are. I can't speak for you, Captain Kickass, but I would say that.
I try to avoid titles, but I mean, if the shoe fits, I'm wearing it.
All right. Go ahead, Rick.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm wearing it too. I have ignored this stay-at-home order because it's idiotic for quite some time, and I'm going to continue to ignore it.
Me too.
If I need to go somewhere, I'm going to go to hell with the police.
Yeah, and if I get pulled over by the police, I'm not going to answer their questions.
Right.
I may argue with them.
I'm going to record
I'm just
it
that way.
Yeah. Pull out a video camera, would you, if it happens to you, and put that online.
I do. I keep one in the car.
Excellent. Also, good idea to have a dash cam too, so that way you got the dash cam and you pull out your own cell phone, so that way you've got two different video feeds.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a bad idea to have a weapon that penetrates Kevlar, but anyway, enough said about that.
Very good, Rick.
I just really, I really like you guys. I started listening to you on GOW here in Chattanooga.
Yeah, great station.
A couple months back, when I was driving in the car, and I am going to crank the station here into the FM radio in the house.
Sweet.
But you guys have tried your absolute best to get the news out to people that this silly virus is no worse than the flu. In fact, probably not as bad, because thousands more people die of the flu every year than are dying from this.
So far, that's true.
And that's just the data, and you got less of a chance of getting it than you do of getting the flu, and less of a chance of dying from it than you do of dying from the flu.
And let's just say, for the sake of argument, that this is slightly worse than the regular flu. Let's just say that it is. Let's just say that it is, for the sake of argument. It in no way excuses the government overreaction and the loss of liberties and freedoms.
It does not. Absolutely.
I agree. I don't care if it's twice as deadly as the flu. Honestly, I don't care.
I've got a right to be out and going about my business.
Right, and the people who are afraid,
the police that.
And the people who are afraid have a right to shutter themselves in their home for as long as they feel it's safe.
If they feel like it, it's their right to do that.
Right.
But it's my right to go where I need to go. And I'll exercise that right in spite of all of the jackbooted terrorists with the guns.
God bless you, Rick.
I just don't care.
I really appreciate your call. We've had some killer calls tonight. Hey, and do me a favor, would you? Call the WGOW's business line and tell the program director there thank you for airing Free Talk Live. If you get a chance. I'm sure he'd appreciate it.
I might do that. They probably would appreciate it, and it will help keep you guys on the air in Chattanooga.
Yeah, and it's one of the great stations that airs the shows. They put us on all week long there, which is awesome, and we're on FM, which is
they do
extra great. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate your call tonight, man, and
you guys
definitely,
take it easy.
Yeah, if you get
Rick,
that video,
thanks.
if they pull you over, you let us know about
the
it.
Resistance to the terrorists.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. And by the terrorists, he means the government.
Yes,
because. Go look it up. The definition of terrorism is the use or the threat of violence to achieve political goals.
Yep.
That's what it is. And that's what government does.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
Yeah, they don't do anything. They don't have anything. They don't make anything. Everything that they have is first taken from other people before they do anything with it. And then they take a healthy chunk off the top of that before they dole out a little bit to the contractors to do the actual work for them.
Let's go to Jim. He's in Battle Creek, Michigan, listening also on an FM band to WBCK. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, the biggest thing we got to suffer up here in Michigan is the Whitmer effect.
What's that?
And, well, the further out it goes, it changes the sound. Now it's tightens restrictions and stuff on us.
Is this the governor? Is that the governor's name, Whitmer?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up. Like, who the hell?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But the anyway, they put one group of people against another group of people. They won't listen to what President Trump is asking them to consider about using the treatment. Now my mind's not working. About
what do you think about the checkpoints there? We heard from somebody else in Michigan earlier that now there's checkpoints on the border of Ohio.
Well, they probably could be, and they'll probably tightened down and get worse and worse.
Yeah, it's pretty scary stuff.
I just consider it just all fake and garbage, and I'm not going to comply with it.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate your call tonight, man.
Yeah.
This is refreshing.
Yeah, I'm enthused. I also just want to mention real quick, too, this from KXAN. The Texas National Guard troops could end up going door to door in some Dallas neighborhoods to check on residents. The governor says the National Guard troops would be on a quote medical mission unquote and not there for law enforcement reasons.
No, they would totally not do anything to if you open the door with a bong in your hand in Texas.
Because when I have a medical issue of some sort, I always call the National Guard.
Call the guys with guns. They'll shoot the disease.
Yeah. Oh, having a medical problem? National Guard. Get them on the phone right away.
Let's go to John. He's in Lincoln, Nebraska, listening online. Go ahead, John.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say I don't think that these airline industries need a bailout. It just doesn't seem right. I think that the working class people and people without jobs kind of need that money if anybody deserves it.
Well, I do want to talk about the money aspect of this because there's a lot worth talking about. Maybe we'll get into that in the third hour of the show. But before you go on, John, since you brought it up, I did have a story about this, and I don't know if it ended up being in the final bill with this $2.2 trillion because what was it, like 500 or 1,000 pages? But there was a story that part of this bailout deal was going to be that the government, the federal government, would then get a piece of the airlines, meaning that in return for bailing the airlines out, the federal government would become part owner in those airlines. Have you heard about this?
What?
I've heard people talk about it, but when if you take a look at what the CEO of Boeing said, he actually said they don't really need a bailout.
Okay,
so
good.
I kind of feel like these people have tons of money, but I was just going to ask you guys.
Well, Boeing is, just to be clear, hold on. Boeing is different than the airlines, right? Boeing manufactures airplanes.
Right.
So they've been paid. They make the airlines, the jetliners, they get paid. Then American Airlines and United and these others, Southwest, become the owners of those things, right? So I imagine Boeing's doing just fine. Plus, they got all their government contracts as well. It's the actual airlines that are losing big time here because they apparently have to continue flying in order to continue having a chunk of these airports, the different terminals and such dedicated to them. So,
I mean, I think that these airlines often have sort of a backlog of how many planes they're going to order. I would imagine that those have all been put on hold, possibly affecting Boeing. But yeah.
I just kind of feel like a big business, this is capitalism, right? I mean, you're not supposed to bail out people. If it fails, it fails, Right. I mean, come on. Why do my tax dollars have to pay for their airplanes? Why is that happening?
Oh, don't worry. It won't be your tax. Hold on. It won't be your tax dollars. It'll be your other dollars. Because they're going to just print. They're going to print money. Yeah. Okay. So what they're going to do is they're going to crank up the printing press. Probably just increment numbers in a computer, more likely. But they're going to increase the money supply by $2.2 trillion, and probably more trillions on top of that. Because Trump was talking about $6 trillion when he signed this bill. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure where the other $4 trillion was supposed to go to. I heard there might be guaranteed business loans or something like that. But either way, they're going to print the money out in order to make this happen, which is going to devalue the existing money that you have. It's called inflation, and it is going to ravage your savings if you have any of it. I know you had another point. Hang on, John. We'll bring it back if you want to stick with us here through the news, and you can make that point. And we'll talk about the $2 trillion plus 2.2, I think it was, $trillion package, the pork barrel package that satisfied all the Democrats and the Republicans. I think it was voted 97-0 or 94-0 in the Senate, and also almost unanimous in the House, I think, as well. Maybe totally unanimous. I haven't seen the votes there. Hour 3's next.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,643, silver at $14.61, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,203. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, Doctors for Assange, a group of 195 medical professionals from 30 countries, released a statement Friday, strongly condemning a British court decision to keep WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange incarcerated, despite a possible outbreak of COVID-19 at Belmarsh Prison in London, where Assange is being held. The group argued that due to his history of medical neglect, extremely fragile health, and his chronic lung condition, Assange was at particular risk of both contracting and dying from the virus. Minpress News reports that despite acknowledging he was at increased risk, the district judge denied him bail because she considered him a flight risk. The Australian publisher's hearing played out in a bizarre circumstance on Wednesday. The court, like the rest of the United Kingdom, was on lockdown, meaning only 15 people were in attendance. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. The coronavirus pandemic has caused worldwide panic, with many countries struggling to come up with an appropriate aid package or a coronavirus relief bill as the number of COVID-19 cases spikes. Not sitting on the sideline, crypto companies are doing their part to help. Activist Post reports blockchain-powered donation platform Binance Charity initiated a $5 million coronavirus relief campaign on Wednesday. As of press time, its Crypto Against COVID campaign had received 24 donations, amounting to a total of 160.6306 Bitcoin, its website details. A wallet has been set up for public donations, which can be made in BNB, BTC, BUSD, and XRP. Binance explained that it will make an upfront donation of $1 million in BUSD, which will be converted to fiat and used to purchase supplies to send to hospitals in affected countries. Binance is also matching donations of up to $1 million. As healthcare workers continue to cope with a tsunami of patients infected with COVID-19, they've been forced to cope with critical shortages of N95 face masks that block the virus. The Mind Unleashed reports that some facilities like New York Presbyterian Hospital are burning through no less than 40,000 N95 masks per day. But now, researchers at Duke University in Durham, North Carolina, say they've discovered a method to decontaminate the masks and reuse them, extending a crucial lifeline to frontline medical staff coping with surging cases of the virus. Scientists are using specialized equipment to vaporize hydrogen peroxide, permeating the layers of the N95 mask with a cleansing aerosol that can kill germs, including viruses, without degrading the materials used in the precious masks. The decontamination technology and method has long been in use by Duke Health's biocontainment lab, but applying it to the typically disposable N95 masks had not been considered until the present crisis. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Federal authorities are currently on high alert in Washington, D.C., following reports that hundreds of crazed sociopaths infiltrated the congressional chambers this morning. Mary Canley, a Capitol employee who managed to escape the House chambers, described the troubling scene to reporters.
I saw all of them. About 400 to 500 completely deranged people just rambling on about guns, the military, and money.
Investigators say the lunatics, many of whom are believed to suffer from severe personality disorders, have locked themselves in the chambers for hours now, with no clear purpose or reasoning.
I looked at one of them right in the eyes, and it was like he was empty on the inside, devoid of any emotion or feeling. It was horrifying. It's only a matter of time before they do something that really hurts someone.
We believe these men to be manipulative and extremely dangerous. Luckily, they are also very disorganized, and there is a chance they may never be able to ever take any action at all. For more on this developing story, keep checking theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, and we're launching into the third hour of the program. You can join us. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. With you tonight, it's Ian.
And the captain.
We're going to go back to your phone calls and thoughts. We were just, actually, John is still on the line with us in Lincoln, Nebraska, and he had brought up some of the financial aspects of this coronavirus nonsense that's going on out there. Had a lot of real good critical callers towards Corona, and the government gang's response, which of course has been to crush more and more freedoms, to destroy business freedoms first. The poor restaurant and bar, the hospitality industry has been just decimated,
devastated
by this, with many people out of work. If you were a server 2 weeks ago, you aren't anymore. You have no job at this point. And
and I was lamenting during the break that even the small businesses, and I mean the really small ones, like in a great metropolis area like Seattle, we're talking hot dog vendors,
right?
We're talking food trucks. Those are all out of business.
Maybe they'll come back. Maybe they won't. So we're gonna get deeper into what is this $2 trillion boondoggle that got passed yesterday. We can talk more about that. Plus, earlier we discussed the checkpoints that are going into place, and apparently in Florida they're there now. Apparently, one of our callers says Michigan-Ohio's border has them. We just saw a news headline that Quebec province in Canada now has them as well. There's snitch lines set up, snitch websites set up in different places, including London, and I think you said Wisconsin.
Madison, Wisconsin, and Bellevue, Washington, just outside Seattle.
So it's turning into a complete police state snitch society, and it's just absolutely awful. All of this based on a really questionable virus. Let's go back to John. He hung on the line here. He had more to say. Wanted to make sure he had a chance to get your thoughts out. Go ahead, John.
Well, I really just had a question. I just mainly with this whole checkpoint thing and everything, and the sheriff's department running around out here like crazy. I was going to ask you if you could. I don't know if you can recommend a dash cam on air or direct me to a site, but I also want to know because I just need a way to get a backup copy, or should you broadcast the video live if you get pulled over and harassed, or how do you save it so that a cop can't confiscate it and delete it later?
This is an excellent question, and if you're dealing with a dash cam, it's hard to really say because there's so many of them out there. I don't want to say one is particularly better than the others because I haven't really assessed a bunch of them. I've had one, and then that one broke over time, and I don't remember what it was called. And then I got another one. The one that I currently have is a brand called Vantrue, Vantrue, but I can't tell you that brand is better than any others because there's literally a ton of choices out there for dash cams. The one I have is now probably 2 or 3 years old, so I'm sure it's been replaced by other models. Basically, you want to get a nice dual camera dash cam. You want to get one where you've got a camera that's facing the front, so you can, it's recording what's going on the road, and then you want to have the camera that's inside the car. So it's all in the same unit, right? Like it's hanging underneath your rear view mirror. It's mounted to your windshield. Mm-hmm. So you got one camera pointing outwards, one camera pointing inwards, and that way it's recording what's happening. Say if a cop comes up to your window, you can kind of point the camera at that. And see that it's recording what's going on inside the car. So that's an important factor. Obviously, the higher the resolution, the better. Nowadays, I can't imagine they even have low-resolution dash cams at this point. I would expect them all to be 1080p.
I just did
a
quick Google search. A website called dashcameras.net has a breakdown of the dash cams that have cloud storage availability. There's only a handful of them, apparently, according to this website.
I bet you're going to pay a pretty penny for that.
You probably are.
You would also have to have it hooked up to some sort of a cell phone
I think Wi-Fi or something like that has to be available.
So if you want to get crazy, I'm sure there's like the crazy expensive, because streaming video over the internet is not cheap. You're going to suck up a bunch of your bandwidth real fast like that. Another option, though, is I bet you these exist. I didn't look real hard for it the last time I bought one of these, but there's got to be an encrypted SD card option, meaning, even if they were to confiscate the camera, that they wouldn't be able to get to the videos because they would be encrypted on the SD card, whereas most dash cams is completely unencrypted. It's just an SD card. They could pop the card out, take the card, and then, when you get it back is another question.
Didn't Cell 411 have like the audio version of what we're talking about where you could start recording? Or wasn't there another
Cell 411
app?
had video.
But that would also upload.
Yeah, it was uploading, streaming to the internet. The thing is, I don't know what's going on with Cell 411.
But wasn't there another app that also had like the thing? Like I remember when I got this particular phone, this has the fingerprint scanner, so like you could program it. So all you got to do is swipe your index finger, and it automatically starts the audio recording and uploads it to the cloud. I can't remember the app though.
Right now we're in one of the worst times for these live streaming apps, at least that I'm aware of, because all the ones that we've recommended over the years have gone under. So there was one called Quick, there was one called Bambuser. They're both gone they've been gone for years. Cell 411 was the best bet up until recently, and then somebody gave me the heads up that it is no longer on the Android App Store.
What?
And I tried to reach out to Virgil, who is the guy who's the programmer behind and a longtime supporter of Free Talk Live. I haven't heard back from the guy. So I don't know what's going on with Cell 411. As my understanding, it is still on the iPhone store. So maybe there's some sort of issue that's come up and he hasn't been able to address it with Google. Maybe he's gotten distracted with other things, but I don't know what else there is as far as like live streaming apps. I mean, obviously you can like live stream to Twitch or something like that, but
sounds
that's
like
not
there's
designed
an
for
opportunity in the market for some entrepreneurial developer.
So, I mean, I don't have a specific recommendation for you, John, but those are some ideas that you can maybe use as a starting point. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks for the call. I appreciate hearing from you. And again, having more than one camera is always a good idea. So having the dash cam, and then also, like you're saying, Captain Kickass, having some sort of a quick shortcut. A lot of cameras have this. If you search find out what model of, smartphone.
Right.
Find out what model of smartphone you have. I just got a new phone the other day from Google Fi, and so I Googled or searched my model number and then quick access to camera.
Yeah.
Like, what's the shortcut, the shortest way to get to the camera? In this phone's case, if I double press the power button, it'll launch the camera no matter whether the phone is locked or unlocked.
Cool.
So, and then my old camera, if I twisted it in the right way, like I had to do like a double twist of it. It was a Motorola.
Right.
And if you twisted it twice, like sort of like cranking a key, basically, then it would launch the camera again, whether the phone was unlocked or locked, and that allows you to just start recording. Now, it's not streaming, but it is at the very least recording to a passworded device.
I can't remember the app, though. There was an app that would... you could set it up where it would run in the background and pass a cursory inspection of anybody who had your passcode to get into your phone or whatever, but it would record audio and upload it at the same time without showing any signs that it was doing so.
Cell 411 had that feature. They had a feature like that.
Okay.
And there's also an audio-only recording app that I am aware of, but it's not coming to my mind in this case. So
Well, if you're out there in listener land and
it might be called like Cop Recorder or something like that.
If you know of any tools to help you in the fight against tyranny, give us a call.
Yeah, I mean, what's a good streaming video app that's not some mega company like YouTube or whatever? Is there anything out there? Our longtime listeners remember us talking about Bambuser and Quick. These were great little apps that were designed to do low quality streaming to where you could restrict the bandwidth of the video. It wasn't like trying to stream 1080p. You could do a lower quality stream just to get it out there, get it onto a server on the internet, and that way if the cop smashes your phone in the middle of the
or they chuck it in the river or something,
it's still whatever you recorded is already out there. So if there's something new out there that we should know about, I want to know about it, because I couldn't download Cell 411 to this new phone. I don't have it right now. And that really frustrates me because I know a bunch of my friends have it. For listeners that don't know Cell 411, get cell411.com. The site's still up, but it links to their Google APK, or it doesn't link to an APK. You can't download just the file itself. You have to go through the Play Store, and it's broken right now. But it allowed you to, and it allows you, if you have it, to send an alert that your friends receive if they also have
it's a great idea.
About what's happening to you. And like one of the alerts is getting pulled over. Another alert is like medical emergency or a fire. So it's useful in a lot of different ways. It's a really great app, and I hate to see it fall into disrepair. I hope if he's like going to quit that he'll just open source it and like put it out there. So I do want to get in touch with him. More coming up.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com.
I have a chocolate cocker spaniel named Lady and a blackmouth cur, and it's a lot of responsibility owning a dog. My dogs don't have any health problems because they're eating what they need to eat.
DINOVITE.com.
Dynavite is like pouring a multivitamin right onto their food. We'll be scooping our Dynavite, then squirting the liquid chops and the fish oil. They start salivating.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynavite at DINOVITE.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org. Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, Government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict, or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You bring up whatever you want here. You can take control of the airwaves. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Whether it's protecting yourself from police abuse, which is, I think, going to be even more useful in this particular society now that the police state is on the rise in an accelerated fashion. You're welcome to join us and talk about that, or the $2 trillion legislative bonanza that got passed yesterday by Donald Trump and the rest of Congress.
All they're doing with that is just diluting the money supply. They're adding more dollars to the available number of dollars, therefore making the dollars that you currently have worth even less than they were before.
That's how it's going to happen. So we can talk about that. Your calls and thoughts. Also welcome our number, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Oh, and by the way, when that thing passed, Representative Thomas Massey attempted to call for a roll call vote, meaning that everybody who voted for it would be on the record.
Yeah.
And not a single other person supported him on that motion. So that died, and they did what was called a voice vote. And so you don't get to know how your so-called representative.
Yeah, because they know that everybody sleeps somewhere, right?
So we go to your phone calls and thoughts here. Also, let's see, toll-free number if you want to join us, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live, of course, allowing you to call in and bring up what you want. Now, do you want to reach people with the ideas of liberty? Well, you can do it from the back of your car with libertystickers.com. You can reach thousands of people with a bumper sticker, and you know that people love to read them. So check out the vast selection of witty, poignant, pithy, and downright bombastic liberty-oriented messages at libertystickers.com.
Bombastic. I love that word.
It is a good one. All right, we go back to your calls and thoughts here. Derek is listening in Jacksonville, Florida on YouTube. Go ahead, Derek.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Good. What's on your mind?
Well, two things. So Jacksonville, as of tonight, issued a stay-at-home order for residents 65 and older.
Okay.
Which, so that's, I don't get it. I guess they're going to have to start doing ID checks.
Yeah. So
and another thing with the news reports, you know, what they're trying to tell us with hundreds of NYPD cops testing positive now, I guess you can force them to stay away from you. force them to practice 6 feet social distancing, and
I hadn't thought of that.
Window down, officer. I will not. You might be infected. I will not comply for safety.
I love it.
So, just spreading the ideas of liberty, guys. I'll leave it to you. Have a good night.
Good thoughts. Thanks, Derek.
That's great. I wonder,
appreciate it, man.
if like when we were in the square here in Keene,
Yeah,
right?
last
And
night.
If the cop came up, could you be like, "I'm sorry, sir. Please
Back
stay,
off.
Please
Back
stay
off."
at least 6 feet away from me."
Oh, that would have been hilarious. But they didn't bother us, so that's even better. We go to your calls and we continue here. David is in San Francisco, listening in California. David, how's the lockdown going there?
Well, I got to disagree with your general principle on this. The lockdown out here is voluntary.
Really?
The general population out here, as you might know, the education level out here is like between baby and 99. The average education level is like 2 years of college. So that means there's a lot of PhDs and masters and all sorts of. My girlfriend went to college for 35 years. So the idea that an educated population takes care of itself, and a pack of braggarts and what you're talking about for the last hour or so it has been dealt with in law. Ever since, for well over 100 years, there was a case of a woman called Typhoid Mary, and she had a built-in case of typhoid fever, and she was a restaurant worker, and the only thing that she knew how to do was to work in a restaurant, and they would find that she was giving all of her customers typhoid fever, and they would force her to quit her job, and then she would sneak down to the next restaurant and give the next batch of people typhoid fever.
Yeah, she changed her name a couple of times before going to work at the next place, et cetera, and so on.
Well, I'm not sure about changing her name, but she went underground, so to speak, yeah. And so they eventually found a place for her on, I don't remember if she was put on Plum Island, but it was basically the early formation of something like Social Security, because the woman was so poor that she had to have a job, and there was nothing like workers' comp or Social Security for her to go on. So the only thing that she could do was to keep working at the only thing that she knew how to do. And so the various laws that you're talking about incubation and about quarantining and whatnot, voluntary is certainly the smartest thing to do. And if you're smart, you're going to voluntarily lay low. Because
so you're saying we're
steady,
stupid, is that what you're saying?
Slow and steady wins an epidemic.
It's not an epidemic,
and steady.
dude. Is the flu an epidemic?
Go on and pretend, right?
Is the flu an epidemic?
You've got all of these...
David, I'm asking you a question. Is the flu an epidemic?
But this is not a flu. COVID.
Is
it's a virus.
The flu an epidemic?
This is a virus, not a flu.
You're not going to answer the question.
So don't lie.
Bye-bye.
The flu is a virus.
Yeah. You didn't want to answer the question because people don't act like the flu is an epidemic.
Yeah.
They're calling this a pandemic. It's an epidemic. Somebody in the chat room, one of the people who he's actually one of our moderators who seems to be really freaked out about this. He's saying that, because there's people in every state that have it, it's an epidemic. Yeah? How many people do you know that have it? So far, almost everyone I've spoken with doesn't know anyone that has this thing. Now, that doesn't mean that people don't have it. I'm not denying that it exists. Until you know somebody who has it, I don't know if you can say it's an epidemic.
Or a pandemic either.
Or a pandemic.
Yeah. I have the definition of pandemic. It is a disease prevalent over a whole country or the world. So
right.
What is prevalent?
What is prevalent?
Yeah,
just because one person has it or a handful of people or dozens of people have it in a political jurisdiction that is, humongous like New York, that means it's an epidemic?
The definition of prevalent, widespread in a particular area or at a particular time.
Yeah. What is widespread? Is 1% widespread?
I would think not.
Because I'm pretty sure that 1% of even New York doesn't have this thing at this point. I mean, you can go and look at the numbers for yourself, whatever these government-provided numbers are.
Certainly the fear is prevalent.
Yeah, that much is true. And that's being spread by these government goons. It's being spread by the mainstream media as well. 122,666 is the current U.S. number. Let's see. Population of the United States, roughly 330 million people?
That was 395 million.
Oh, is it that much now? I thought it was 330. But,
either way,
let's go low. Let's do a conservative estimate here. 300 million people. What is 1% of 300 million people?
327.2 as of 2018.
Yeah. What's 1% of 327 million people?
I don't know.
It's like 3 point something million, right?
Yes.
So if 100-something thousand have it, that's way less than 1%.
It's not prevalent.
I don't know if that's prevalent.
It's not common.
I don't know if that's widespread. You can share your thoughts here. This is Free Talk Live. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free to join us here. The number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And with you in the studio, it's Ian.
And the Reverend Captain Kickass.
Coming up in the summertime, it's going to be Fork Fest. I was actually just asked today about Fork Fest by a local vendor who's planning on attending. Is it still happening? I said, well, as far as I know, as long as Rogers Campground doesn't close,
right,
Fork Fest is on, and that's because there's no one who can cancel Fork Fest. There's not an organizer.
It's not centralized.
Right. It's completely decentralized. The only person who could make that decision would be the owner of the campground, Rogers Campground. And so far, I checked their website. There's no notice there about anything being different at Rogers Campground. Obviously, that could change. If it does, we'll let you know. But for now, it's still planned to happen June 29th until July 5th. It's a libertarian, decentralized camping festival where you can hang out with other freedom lovers, and it's going to be a great time if it happens, and I think it's going to. But go to forkfest.party. We're planning on being there. Free Talk Live will be broadcasting from the event.
Somebody was asking earlier today about, hey, when should I think about reserving, my campsite or whatever?
I'd say sooner rather than later.
I mean, I've had my reservation already since, I think, the beginning of the year.
Yeah, you can get a campsite, you can do an RV site, and you can also be in the motel if you would like. There are multiple options on Rogers Campground, and it's a great time to get together with other people that care about freedom. Where better to be on Independence Day, by the way? That's going to be the very apex of the festival. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. It's the 4th annual Fork Fest. You go to forkfest.party, unofficial website. You can learn more about the event there. That's forkfest.party. Phones are loaded up here. We're going back to the phones and your calls and thoughts. We got Mary Lou. She's in Tallahassee. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Mary Lou. Listen to WVFT.
I just tuned into your show. Thanks for telling me that there were checkpoints. I didn't know that.
Yeah, in Florida.
Surprise.
Yeah, right. I didn't know that. I heard about it, but I wasn't sure. What's with the need for all these ventilators in New York City? I mean, I agree with you that this whole thing smells. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
But why all these ventilators? What's that all about?
I'm not a medical expert. Honestly, I probably would be the wrong person to ask about this, but it's my understanding this particular virus supposedly has effects on the lungs, and
right.
I guess ventilators can help people who are experiencing that.
I'm assuming it's because they're ramping up things like, field hospitals are trying to make, motels into some sort of a field, and so they want these air circulators because of the increase in that type of thing. I don't really know.
Right, because, that's a symptom. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
they're making it sound as though it's a major thing. I mean,
sure, they want to make it sound like it's a major thing, so people will give up their freedoms, and so the government will be able to take more of our liberties and expand the police state and expand their power over our lives, and it's working.
Right. Well, who's behind all this? I know you say the government, but do you include Trump in that, or
Trump is part of the
exactly?
government? So yeah, I'm going to include Trump and the Democrats and the Republicans. They almost all voted for this thing, this $2 trillion boondoggle that passed yesterday, which is of course a huge corporate welfare thing. But don't worry, they're going to give everybody a check with as though that's going to somehow make a difference.
Give me liberty or give me $1,200
to people who've lost their jobs. Or whatever, because of this, people whose businesses are going to close permanently because they were already having trouble getting their employees paid and paying the rent all at the same time. I mean, this is an economic disaster, and printing a bunch of money out isn't going to make things better.
Well, do you think this was planned out, or did it just happen that there was a virus and they just decided to take advantage of that?
See, I don't know. That's a good question, Mary Lou. I think there's a lot of people out there who would say that this virus was engineered, that it was released purposely, whether it was done by the Chinese government or by the U.S. government or somebody else. It's really hard to say. I don't think that's a question that's ever going to probably have an answer. It's going to be one of those things that like the Kennedy assassination, people will speculate about, like 9/11. But yeah, it's certainly whatever the story story is. The reality is they're using it to springboard into more of a police state. And that was true with 9/11 as well. I mean, there have been conspiracy theories swirling around that for 2 decades now.
Okay.
Thanks,
All right.
Mary
Well,
Lou,
I like
for
the
your
show.
call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. Let's continue. And we go to Ron. He's in Daytona, Florida, listening to WNDB. Hello, Ron. Oh, you got to turn down that radio.
And we go
Ron?
to
Yep.
Ron. He's in
Turn
Daytona.
it down.
Radio.
Got to turn it down.
Turn down the radio.
Ron.
Hello there, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Turn
you
down
got to
the
turn
radio.
down the radio when you're on hold, my man.
Well, I have my volume is down.
All right, go ahead.
I know about feedback and all, but anyway, I've been listening for a long time. You guys do a great job.
Thanks. Go ahead.
Very informative show. I would say show or program where you give out a whole bunch of information. I was calling tonight about I was going to make a comment on the guy who called in about the flu.
Please, you're here. Go ahead.
When you asked the guy, was the flu a virus? Influenza, I agree, it is a flu. I mean, influenza is a virus.
Yeah.
The flu is a virus. I'm just going to give the audience a definition of these. An epidemic is a widespread outbreak, whereas a catastrophe is a widespread disaster.
Okay.
So, but what I'm
Do you
getting at,
consider this to be widespread, this coronavirus?
You know, I'm going to make a comment on that. First of all, I really don't know. There's nothing abstract, nothing that I can put my hand on, nothing concrete. I can't give you a yes or a no on that. I believe that well, I know according to the newspapers and the television, radio, that it's widespread all the way around the United States and other countries as well. But I don't think it's bad as people think it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's my own personal opinion now.
Do you know anyone that's contracted it?
I personally don't know anyone that has contracted it.
You do not know. Okay.
No, I don't know. And I'm in the public all the time. I've been a public relations person. I work with a number of people, but I don't know anybody personally, relative or non-relative, who has contracted this coronavirus.
Ron, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate your opinion. Thanks for sharing it with us.
So this from Medical News Today, their website, talking about they're comparing COVID to the flu.
Mm-hmm.
And they say transmission, both the SARS-CoV-2, that's the coronavirus,
okay,
and the flu virus can spread through person-to-person contact. So Medical News Today stating that both of these are viruses.
Mm-hmm.
Just to
clarify.
Yeah.
Let's continue here. We've got James. He's actually calling from Tonto National Forest. James, you're on Free Talk Live. James? In the National Forest, going once. James going twice.
Yes, I'll be damned.
Hello.
Ooh, chemotherapy.
You're on the air.
I have, mental and spiritual therapy. I did something today. Your sassafras couldn't keep up with me for 1 minute, and I did it for 5 hours. And that's literally the case.
What was that,
I
playing
think
with yourself?
I hear myself. That's very funny.
Thanks for the call.
Hey, James.
Sorry, I hung up on him.
No, that's all right. He's listening. Yeah. I can lose weight, but you can't get any smarter.
Or nicer, apparently. Let's talk to Roger in southern New Mexico. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Roger.
Yes, I've got a solution. Nobody even talks about it.
All right, let's hear it.
There's a Austrian medical team. They went to China early on to get to the bottom of it. They found out the solution. Heat kills viruses.
Okay.
Okay, what they found out was if you gargle with hot water, hot as you can handle it, and they use 2 key words, gargle it in your oral cavity.
Mm-hmm.
Oral cavity is the key. That's your voice box.
Yeah.
It's the way they put it. It's the gateway to your lungs, and the enemy's at the gate.
How
So
often do you
slam
have
the
to do
gate
this?
shut.
Is this like every hour or like what?
That's the question. How come nobody's investigating it?
I don't know. It's an interesting question. Roger,
How hot
thanks
does it
for
have
the
to be?
thanks for the call, man. I don't know if I want to put scalding hot water down my throat. That doesn't sound like a good plan. But hey, you know what? It's your throat. You can do what you want with it. There's more coming
Gargle
up
whatever
here.
you like with your oral cavity.
We talk live.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA, or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits, at MyPatriotSupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system, or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at MyPatriotSupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Attention, fellow Americans. We are now at an all-time high risk of illnesses due to pathogens and viruses. So it's critical to take a proactive approach to boost your immune system. Do it with new nanocolloidal silver from Americare. Using a patented process with tiny silver particles 1/100th the size of a red blood cell that allows for maximum absorption, Americare's nanocolloidal silver effectively disinfects your body internally, attacking pathogens and viruses while supercharging your immune system. Colloidal silver is antibacterial and antiviral. Simply put, it inhibits bacterial respiration, suffocating viral cells, preventing the virus from replicating. And now, due to public health concern, Americare is authorized to offer our lowest and best price ever at around $1 a day. But supplies are limited. Purchase nanocolloidal silver now at immunesupportnow.com. That's immunesupportnow.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Supplies are limited.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Moments remain. Maybe enough time for you if you are on the line. If you're not, we might be able to get you in still. Actually, a couple lines open at 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. But it's been almost wall-to-wall phone calls all night
Thank
long.
you to all of our callers.
Some amazing calls tonight. And, yeah, thank you very much. And thank you, Captain Kickass. What's your website?
lcaptainkickass.com. ELCAPTAIN kickass.com.
And you will find some song parodies that
Oh,
Captain
I make
Kickass
funny.
has done there. And people need funny right now.
They do.
So go and check that out. lcaptainkickass.com. We're going to continue taking more of your calls and thoughts. And don't forget also freetalklive.com for archives and all kinds of, free content, webcam. It's all there at freetalklive.com. We're going to go back to the phones to the fun. Let's talk to, Billy is on the line. He is in Little Rock, Arkansas. And he's listening via DLive, which is one of our video streaming sites at dlive.lrn.fm. Let's bring Billy on the line here. Go ahead, Billy.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hi,
How's
Billy.
she going tonight?
Welcome, sir. You're on the air.
Oh, well, just lovely. Well, in this time of crisis, I'm just wondering now, how would you go about taking care of that beard? Is it going to be considered a health risk in this time of crisis, or will it get past the national the health service registration? Will it work?
As the resident beardo on Free Talk Live, I just use some coconut oil. That's it.
Thanks for the call, Billy. I appreciate hearing from you.
Damn it, Billy!
By the way, our last call, not Billy, but the one prior to that, who was talking about gargling with super hot water in order to supposedly kill the virus. It sounded bad on its face.
Snake oil salesman.
Yeah, it sounded bad. Just like I already said to him, look, that doesn't sound like a good plan. Makona512 in our chat room on Discord at discord.lrn.fm. He says what the caller said doesn't work. The temperature needed to damage a virus will cause permanent damage to your throat. He says you would need to sustain over 167 Fahrenheit degree water in your throat for at least a minute.
Why isn't anybody looking into this?
In order to kill a virus. So yeah.
I mean, I didn't know until just now either. I shouldn't make fun of the guy, but apparently this is why.
Yeah, you probably don't want to do that. So. You don't want to take medical advice from random callers to talk radio. It's the general rule. Let's go to Johnny. He's in Daytona Beach listening to WNDB. Go ahead, Johnny.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Go ahead.
I just want to make a comment.
Yeah.
About this stimulus check.
Right.
Now, I pay payments on back child support, but do I still get that check?
Oh, I don't know. I doubt it. I know the federal government likes to do things like if you owe them any money whatsoever, you don't even get your income tax refund. They'll do this for fines. They'll do it for student loans. And so my guess would be that if they are going to issue you a check, that it might be issued, but then they might intercept it themselves and keep it and then send you a letter that says, hey, we did issue you a government cheese check, but because you owe us money, we hijacked it and we'll apply that to your other debt. That's my guess.
That's a good prediction, I would say.
As to what I'm not an attorney. I'm not a government employee, so I don't know for a fact, but that's how I imagine
Johnny,
it would
thanks for the
turn
call,
out.
man. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you. Let's go to David. He's in Albuquerque. David, you're on Free Talk Live. Hello.
Yeah, the governor of, first of all, people should be familiar with the governor of New Mexico. Look her up. She got a funny political ad she ran. Just Google Michelle Lujan Grisham or governor of New Mexico, Trump's wall, where she crashes through some sheetrock in a very amusing manner so you can see the little troll witch Oompa Loompa that I'm talking about. And what she did in relation to this, her latest move, on top of all the other moves she's already done, is if you fly, New Mexico True, hashtag New Mexico True, we'll call this hashtag New Mexico Screw. If you fly in to the state of New Mexico, and then you are required by law or by her order, which is law, to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. And if you do not do it voluntarily, you will be forced. They isolate you by force if you don't do it voluntarily. She has stated that publicly.
Wait, David.
Because that's voluntary.
You know that the nickname for New Mexico, their motto is the land of enchantment. But of course, the folks who have been there and gotten out,
like you,
nickname it the land of entrapment, because there's more people in New Mexico prisons not from New Mexico than any other section of prisons. So it's called the land of entrapment. But now they've taken that to a new level. If you fly there, you are then trapped for at least 14 days, right?
Wow.
Yeah, it's like fly paper. So if you fly in, like I said, you got to self-isolate, and I'm sure you'll be told, I'm sure you'll be met at the gate of the airplane. If you didn't already know, I'm sure there will be somebody telling you. And let me say again, Michelle Lujan Grisham, she stated that you will be in a essence be jailed. You will actually be trapped in some space, whether it's your own home or somewhere else. If you don't do it voluntarily, you will be abducted, kidnapped, falsely imprisoned.
Now, I'm sorry, I missed one point here, David. Is this applying to everyone coming into New Mexico, or only from like New York City, or?
Good question.
Anybody who comes off of an airplane.
Wow.
Anybody who flies in.
Oh man.
I've said this in the first hour. I've said it in the second hour. I'm going to say it here in the third hour as well. Your rights as a human being do not cease to exist because there's a frickin' virus.
Thanks for the call, David. I appreciate hearing from you. We go to Chris. He's in Texarkana, listening to KTFS. Hello, Chris. You're on Free Talk Live.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I called in a few weeks ago talking about former President Bush's quote. I think it was a speech to Congress about how freedom was attacked on 9/11.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, but you fooled me once. But you fooled me twice. Well, you can't fool me twice. Sorry, go ahead.
Let me apologize to veterans. I didn't mean to sound like they fought for nothing. I think...
well, I'll say it. Veterans, you fought for nothing. You fought for the will of politicians and the politicians' glory and whatever plans the politicians had at the time. And
factually speaking.
They used you. Sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
Well,
what were you calling about?
I think there's something we're all missing. And there's something going on that we're not seeing.
Okay.
So
pull back take off the rose-colored glasses. What are we missing here? What are you talking about?
First of all, I'm 100% patriot, and I believe in 100% rights. First of all.
Okay.
So noticing what's happening while we are social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a buzzword.
Yeah, there's nothing social about it.
What can't happen while we're not all together in one spot?
Do you want me to answer that question? I'm not sure what you're getting at. I'm not sure what you're getting at here. What are you trying to do?
If we're not all in one spot, what events? All events are closed right now, shut down.
Right.
So what events can't happen?
Lots of things. What are you trying to lead towards, man? We're short on time here.
Okay. Just let's see how this plays out. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, don't go out and shoot cops that are telling you to stay home.
Yeah,
okay?
I don't agree that violence. I don't think violence is going to solve problems here, but. That also doesn't mean you should obey the police either.
Hopefully, you're not hearing from us. Hey, you go out and shoot some cops. No, that's not.
That's what one caller alluded to.
He did allude to that earlier tonight.
That's true.
Right
that's true. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the call, Chris. Man, I appreciate hearing from you. So this $2 trillion thing got signed yesterday. Trump, while he was like talking about it, said it was like $2 trillion, but also $6.2 trillion. And I did see some sort of a story about possibly $4 trillion being allocated to business loans.
Well, and I saw a story that said they're going to do unlimited QE, quantitative easing. So it doesn't matter. They're going to do whatever they want.
The Federal Reserve has gotten rid of its reserve requirement. Now banks can have 0% in reserve and loan out money on 0%.
Oh man, I did see something
last week.
I did see something. It was a link. It said something like, "Get your 0%." Coronavirus loan. It's a loan. Yeah. Apparently, banks have been authorized to offer you a bailout loan at 0% interest, but still you have to pay that back. So it's not really a bailout. Just offering to loan you money. You have to pay it back.
It's going to be a mess. The dollar is going to be in real bad shape. And look, just remember, the government's own budget, from what I understand, is like $4 trillion or something. I don't have the number in front of me, but like $2.2 trillion is like half of the government's budget. It's going to be another tenth added to the national debt.
Yep.
And it ain't going to stop with $2.2 trillion, folks.
Nope.
There's going to be more coming soon, so you may want to consider diversifying what you have in savings, maybe a little precious metals, maybe a little cryptocurrency. I'm not an investment advisor, but that's something to consider. We'll see you tomorrow night online in the meantime at freetalklive.com.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Questioning Authority is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,643, silver at $14.61, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,203. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals